Every day, millions of people take medications for anxiety, allergies, sleep, or bladder problems thinking they're harmless. But what most people don't realize is that many of these medications are quietly increasing their risk of dementia and changing how the brain itself functions. In fact, taking just one of these medications daily for a year can increase the risk of getting dementia by 50%. Research shows they can cause brain shrinkage and memory loss over time. The craziest part is that these aren't rare or experimental drugs. They're sitting in medicine cabinets everywhere, and they might just be in yours. By the way, I'm Dr. Robert Harrison, a practicing board-certified family medicine physician with a focus on integrative care. Today, I'm going to break down the specific medications that are damaging your brain long-term, the science behind how they work, and the safer alternatives you can start using today instead. So, let's start with the basics. The class of medications we're talking about is called anticholinergics, which means they block a certain chemical in your brain known as acetylcholine. Imagine your brain as a city filled with communication wires. Acetylcholine is like the electrical current that powers those wires and allows neurons to talk with one another. Anticholinergic medications block that current and weaken connections between memory centers in the brain, like the hippocampus and the cerebral cortex. Over time, those connections fade, leading to brain shrinkage and slower processing speeds. Think about Iron Man. His entire suit, all that power, speed, and precision, depends on the energy core in his chest. When that core degrades or gets replaced with an older, less efficient version, everything slows down. His flight systems glitch and his targeting gets fuzzy. That's exactly what happens inside your brain when you take medications with anticholinergic properties over a long period. Now, here's the concerning part. Anticholinergic effects show up in tons of medications, both prescription and non-prescription. Common examples are allergy medications like diphenhydramine, Benadryl, sleep aids like Tylenol PM or Zizquil, anxiety medications like hydroxyzine, Vistaril, bladder control medications like Ditropan and Vesicare, IBS medications like Bentyl, and motion sickness medications like Dramamine and scopolamine. Each blocks acetylcholine, and the more you take, the bigger the impact. This isn't just theory. A meta-analysis of 1.5 million people found that long-term anticholinergic use was an independent risk factor for both Alzheimer's disease and all-cause dementia. Another study of 21 separate trials showed that taking these meds for just 3 months increased dementia risk by 46% on average. Brain imaging studies from JAMA Neurology revealed that people using anticholinergics had increased brain atrophy, literally brain shrinkage, and reduced brain metabolism in memory centers like the hippocampus. So your memory fades and your brain becomes less active. This isn't just about feeling groggy. These medications literally change your brain. That change worsens if you're over 60, as our natural acetylcholine levels decline with age. Adding medications that block it speeds up the brain's aging process. People over 60, especially on multiple medications, are at highest risk. I see this in my practice. Someone may take hydroxyzine for anxiety, Zizquil for sleep, and something for bladder issues. Individually, they block a little acetylcholine, but together the brain's wires don't fire properly, decreasing overall communication. That decrease leads to parts of the brain shutting down. The higher the anticholinergic burden, the higher the dementia risk. If you're on 2 or more of these medications, the risk multiplies. I'm not saying these medications should never be used. There's a time and place, especially short-term. Taking Benadryl occasionally for an allergic reaction or Zizquil for a night's rest is fine. You won't increase dementia risk. It's when you take them day in and day out over months to years that we want to avoid. Here's what you can do in 2 steps. Step 1. Go through your medicine cabinet, look at all prescription and non-prescription medications, and search online or ask your doctor or pharmacist which have anticholinergic properties. Step 2. Don't stop anything abruptly, especially prescription meds. Talk to your doctor first about safer alternatives or look up information online. For safer alternatives, for sleep, try magnesium glycinate, not oxide or citrate, as those don't cross into the nervous system as easily and may upset your stomach. Magnesium glycinate improves sleep quality more safely than Zizquil or Tylenol PM. For allergy issues, use second-generation antihistamines like Claritin, Zyrtec, and Allegra, which are much less likely to affect your brain long-term. For optimal control, switch between them every 3 months. For seasonal allergies, try nasal sprays like nasal saline or Flonase. For bladder control, ask about mirabegron, a non-anticholinergic option. For IBS, try natural options like peppermint oil or a low FODMAP diet. Most importantly, support your brain with basics. Proper sleep, exercise, nutrition, and managing blood pressure and blood sugar all help prevent brain aging. Exercise is the most potent anti-brain aging drug on the market. If you've been on these medications long-term, don't panic, but act. The goal is not to scare you, but to empower you because many brain changes are preventable once you know what to look for. You deserve to stay sharp, independent, and confident into your later years. If you can't remember every medication discussed, I've put together all the important details in one free resource linked below. Now, if this video opened your eyes to how common medications can alter your brain, you might want to see how easy it is for your blood work to be thrown off too. In my next video, I'll walk you through the 10 most common mistakes people make before getting blood work that lead to inaccurate results.